At some point this week, one Power 5 program will likely be the beneficiary of a graduate transfer from one of their fellow Power 5s. According to Adam Rittenberg of ESPN.com, Tre Watson has whittled his transfer to-do list down to 3 schools: LSU, Texas and Texas Tech. As had previously been reported, Watson has taken visits to all 3 of those campuses. It's expected that the running back will make a decision on his new college football home later this week. Former Cal RB Tre Watson, a graduate transfer for 2018, is down to Texas Tech, Texas and LSU. He'll likely decide later this week. Watson told me he can adapt to all 3 offenses and enjoyed visiting the 3 schools. I needed to experience the big-time football culture. Adam Rittenberg at ESPN. Rittenberg May 2, 2018. In late January, Watson announced on Twitter that he was going to be leaving Cal as a grad transfer. In a Week 2 win over Weber State this past, Watson sustained a serious knee injury and didn't play the rest of the year. Prior to the injury, Watson's 83 yards in less than 5 quarters worth of work this were leading the team. In 2016, Watson was second on the Bears in rushing yards with 709 and led the team with 4 rushing touchdowns. He finishes the Cal portion of his playing career with 1,390 yards and 8 touchdowns on 274 carries. The NCAA is locked into serious legal challenges on a number of fronts, but the most immediate threat to the organization has been unfolding in a Los Angeles courthouse the past few weeks. That's the site of the latest lawsuit against the group, brought about by former USC assistant coach Todd McNair as part of his defamation case over a show cause he was handed by the Committee on Infractions 8 years ago. Despite numerous flaws in both the process and conclusion in punishing both the coach and the school, NCAA President Mark Emmert went on the defensive as part of a video deposition in the case. In some of his most notable comments about the case in years, "I have seen nothing that has convinced me that the Committee on Infractions or the Appeals Committee should have found any other answer in that case," Emmert said. According to ESPN, "I don't see anything that has convinced me that they erred in making that finding." The deposition was taped in Indianapolis last month after a long back and forth between lawyers from the NCAA and McNair over even interviewing Emmert. While he did add that there were issues involving a staffer sending emails to COI members, the testimony was otherwise straightforward for the man who took over the NCAA not long before the USC case came to a head. The Trojans were docked 30 scholarships and underwent a 2-year bowl ban after being charged with a lack of institutional control, while McNair served a 1-year show cause. The video was played in front of the jury this week as part of the trial that should wrap up sometime in the middle of May. McNair is slated to follow up Emmert by taking the stand starting on Thursday afternoon as part of his nearly decade-long quest to clear his name. This is a big loss, both literally and figuratively, for first-year head coach Josh Heupel's offensive line. By way of the Orlando Sentinel, the UCF coach confirmed Wednesday that Sam Jackson, not pictured, has been diagnosed with a torn ACL in his knee. The guard suffered the injury late during one of the night's 15 spring practice. The Sentinel writes that the 6'6", 356-pound offensive lineman is expected to miss significant time during this offseason and a portion of next. Based on what's usually considered a 6-month time frame for recovery, Jackson likely wouldn't be available until late October, early November at the earliest. As a true freshman last, Jackson played in 12 games for the Knights. Heading into the spring, Jackson was penciled in as one of UCF's starting guards. According to the Sentinel, starting center Jordan Johnson slid over to guard for the spring game and is likely to claim one of those 2 starting jobs at that spot when summer camp opens in early August. Another player will be in the mix on the interior of UCF's line is Parker Boudreaux, the transfer from Notre Dame who sat out the 2017. Wisconsin still doesn't know who will be under center for its opponent in the 2018 opener. The Big Ten school does, though, know who it won't be. Late last month, Stephen Duncan was arrested on a charge of driving under the influence. Nearly 2 weeks later, head coach Mike Sanford confirmed that Duncan will be suspended for the first game of the upcoming as a result of the arrest. The Hilltoppers will travel to Madison to face the Badgers in the August 31st opener. The following week, WKU will host FCS Maine in its home opener. It's expected Duncan will be off suspension and eligible to play in that game. Duncan has been competing with Drew Eccles and Davis Shanley to replace Mike White as the starter, with the 5th-year senior Eccles viewed as a slight front-runner because of his experience. "First off, we take the matter very seriously," Sanford said by way of the Bowling Green Daily News. We were disappointed in Stephen's decision. But Stephen's a great young man. Stephen's very committed to this football team. Clearly he had a goal in mind of winning this starting job going into the Wisconsin game. We have to make plans for our football team. Going into the game at Wisconsin, it changes some things from that dynamic. By no means does it banish Stephen from our view of him as a quarterback. As a redshirt freshman last, Duncan completed both of his pass attempts. Eccles served as White's primary backup last, although he attempted just 11 passes. Late last week, reports surfaced that Miami was working on a new contract for Mark Richt. Thursday, those reports came to fruition as announced the university has extended the head football coach's contract through the 2023. Mark has done a phenomenal job of building this program, and generating enthusiasm for this program, since the day he arrived back on campus, athletic director Blake James said in a statement. We look forward to continued success under his watch, both on and off the field, for many years to come. The financial details of the extension were not revealed. When Richt returned to the U after being fired by Georgia, he signed a 6-year deal that's believed to be worth just north of $4 million annually. After a 9-4 first at his alma mater, Richt guided the Hurricanes to a 10-3 record in 2017. It was the program's first with double-digit wins since they won 11 way back in 2003. Last year also marked the Hurricanes' first appearance in the ACC championship game since they joined the conference for the 2004. Those efforts last earned him Coach of the Year honors from the ACC and Walter Camp Foundation. We're excited about where this program is headed, Richt said in his statement. I want to thank Blake James, Jennifer Strawley and our entire athletics administration for supporting our coaches, staff and student athletes, ensuring that we're committed to building on the great legacy of Hurricanes football. Miami is not only my alma mater, it is home to me and my family. It's a blessing to live and work in paradise.